The salvage runner drifted through the asteroid field like a metal ghost, its hull scarred from years of deep space operations. Captain Marcus Webb sat at the controls, eyes scanning the debris field for anything valuable. 20 years of this work had taught him that humanity's garbage was often another species' treasure. The distress beacon appeared on his scanner as a faint pulse. Marcus frowned. Beacons meant people, and people meant complications. His practical nature urged him to ignore it, but something deeper made him alter course. The escape pod was ancient, its design unfamiliar. Marcus maneuvered his ship alongside and activated the magnetic coupling. The airlock hissed as pressure equalized, and he entered with his scanner raised. Inside the pod, a figure lay motionless. Marcus approached carefully, then stopped. The being was small, humanoid, but distinctly alien. Her skin held a faint luminescence, shifting between pale blue and silver. Crystalline structures grew along her forearms like natural armor. She appeared young, perhaps equivalent to a human teenager, and her breathing was shallow. Marcus checked the pod's life support. Nearly depleted. Without intervention, she had perhaps an hour remaining. He could leave. No one would know. The galaxy was vast, and one life against the complications of first contact protocols seemed insignificant. But Marcus had a daughter once. The memory made his decision. He carried the alien to his ship's medical bay and activated the universal support system. The equipment, designed for multi-species emergencies, hummed to life. He worked quickly, establishing baseline readings and administering stabilizers. Her biology was strange, but not incompatible with his equipment. Hours passed. Marcus sat beside the medical pod, drinking coffee and watching the monitors. The alien's condition improved gradually. Her crystalline structures began to glow softly, a sign he interpreted as positive. When her eyes finally opened, they were deep violet, without visible pupils. She sat up quickly, pressing herself against the far wall of the pod. Fear radiated from her posture. Marcus raised his hand slowly. "Easy. You're safe. I found your pod." She stared at him, incomprehension clear on her face. Marcus activated the ship's translation matrix, a military surplus device he'd acquired years ago. The device analyzed her physiology and began building a communication framework. After several minutes, the matrix chimed. Translation protocol established. Confidence level, 78%. Marcus tried again. "Can you understand me now?" The alien's expression shifted. "Yes, where am I?" "My ship. Found you drifting near the Centaurus belt. Your pod was failing." She touched her crystalline forearms, examining herself as if checking for damage. "You saved me." Seemed like the thing to do. "I'm Marcus, human, Lyra of the Celestian Unity." She paused. "You are not of the Council races. Humans are fairly new to this part of space. Independent explorers, mostly. What happened to you?" Lyra's luminescence dimmed. "Pirates. They attacked our diplomatic vessel. I was separated from my family during the evacuation. My pod malfunctioned during the jump." "Where were you headed?" "Home, the Celestian core worlds. But I have no way to contact them now." Marcus considered this. The Celestian Unity was powerful, one of the ancient civilizations that had mastered faster-than-light travel millennia ago. They were also notoriously isolationist, their territories forbidden to outsiders. "I can take you to the nearest council station. They can arrange transport." Lyra shook her head. "It would take months through official channels. My family believes me dead. Each day they mourn is unacceptable. The alternative is me flying into restricted space. That's a good way to get vaporized. I can guide you. Provide access codes, please." Her voice held desperation. "You saved my life. I ask this final kindness. Marcus should have refused. Every instinct born from years of survival told him to take the safe option. But he saw something in Lyra's eyes that reminded him of his daughter's determination. "All right, but you're navigating. Any trouble? I'm jumping back to known space immediately." Lyra's luminescence brightened. "Thank you, Marcus of Humanity." The journey took 6 days. Lyra proved an excellent navigator, guiding them through hidden routes that avoided patrol zones. She spent her time learning about humans, asking endless questions about Earth, its cultures, its history. Marcus found himself enjoying the conversation. Isolation was a constant companion in salvage work. "Your species is remarkably resilient," Lyra observed on the 4th day. "You've survived wars, disasters, near-extinction events. Yet you continue forward." Marcus smiled. "Stubbornness is a human trait. We don't quit easily. Is that why you saved me?" "Stubbornness? Maybe. Or maybe I'm just an old fool who can't ignore someone in trouble." Lyra's crystalline structures pulsed with soft light. In Celestian culture, saving a life creates a bond. The saved becomes responsible for ensuring the act was worthy. "I will not forget this debt." "No debt. Just be safe when you get home." On the 6th day, they entered Celestian space. The difference was immediate. The stars seemed brighter here, organized in patterns that suggested deliberate arrangement. Structures appeared on the scanners, massive installations that dwarfed anything humans had built. "Take these coordinates," Lyra said. Providing directions to her homeworld Dot, the planet emerged from the darkness like a jewel. Its surface shimmered with cities that glowed with their own light. Orbital platforms ringed it in protective layers. Marcus had never seen anything so beautiful or so intimidating. "You should contact them now," he said. Lyra transmitted her identity codes. The response was instantaneous. Dozens of ships appeared around them, weapons powered but not targeting. A voice spoke through the communication system in the Celestian language. Lyra responded quickly, and the ships withdrew to escort formation. "They're guiding us to the capital," Lyra explained. "My family awaits." They descended through clouds that seemed to part at their approach. The landing platform was enormous, surrounded by beings whose crystalline structures and luminescence marked them as Celestian. At the center stood 3 figures whose presence radiated authority. "My parents," Lyra whispered. "And the High Chancellor?" Marcus landed the ship and stood with Lyra at the airlock. "Ready?" She nodded, and they descended together. Lyra's mother reached her first, embracing her with tears flowing freely. Her father joined them, his relief palpable. Marcus stood apart, uncomfortable with the intimate reunion. Finally, they separated, and Lyra turned to him. "This is Marcus, the human who saved me." The High Chancellor stepped forward. His crystalline structures were more elaborate than the others, patterns that seemed to shift and flow. His eyes studied Marcus with an intensity that made the human want to step back. "You saved the daughter of our chief diplomat," the Chancellor said through the translator. "You brought her home when you could have claimed reward from any council station. You risked entering forbidden space because she asked." Why? Marcus felt the weight of hundreds of eyes upon him. She needed help. Seemed simple. The Chancellor's luminescence flickered. "You passed through 14 checkpoints, any of which could have destroyed you. You navigated restricted routes that took centuries to map. You delivered her safely, despite having no guarantee of your own safety. All simple? I didn't think about it that hard. She needed to get home. I could help." The Chancellor exchanged glances with Lyra's parents. Something unspoken passed between them. "Marcus of Humanity, you have passed the trial of mercy." Marcus blinked. "The what?" "For generations, we Celestians have observed younger races. We watch how they treat the vulnerable when no reward exists. Lyra volunteered to test your species. Her situation was engineered, her pod placed in your path. We expected you to take her to a council station, perhaps demand payment. We did not expect this. The words hit Marcus like a physical blow. You're saying this was a test? All of it? Lyra stepped forward, her expression guilty. The distress was real. The danger to my life was real. But yes, it was orchestrated. I volunteered because I believe humanity deserves a chance. You proved me correct. Marcus felt anger rising. You manipulated me. We tested your character, the Chancellor corrected. And you exceeded all expectations. Humanity has been petitioning for full council membership for years. We denied you, believing you too young, too aggressive. But you have demonstrated something rare, compassion without expectation of reward. That is the foundation of true civilization. The Chancellor raised his hand, and the assembled Celestians bowed their heads. I hereby sponsor humanity's admission to the Galactic Council with full rights and privileges. Furthermore, we offer a formal alliance between the Celestian Unity and the Human Alliance. Marcus struggled to process this. His simple act of kindness had changed everything for his entire species. Your people will have access to our trade routes, our technology, our knowledge, the Chancellor continued. We will help humanity take its place among the ancient races. Because I helped one person? Because when it mattered, you chose compassion over profit, risk over safety, kindness over convenience. These are the qualities we value above all others. Lyra touched his arm. I'm sorry for the deception, but I'm grateful for what you revealed about humanity. Marcus looked at her, at the assembled Celestians, at the impossible city surrounding them. He thought about his years of isolation, his daughter who would never know how it ran.